Hi, my name's Alex, and I swear my girlfriend Laura is either a genius mastermind or the world's worst liar. For months, she's been telling me she's just hanging out with friends whenever she got dressed up on Friday nights. And listen, I believed her at first. Because who am I to question girls' nights? You want to drink rose, wear pajamas, and rank Marvel actors? Cool. But things didn't add up. First off, Laura would leave the house looking like she was headed to the Met Gala after-party. Glitter heels, perfume that smelled like cotton candy and gasoline, and a dress so tight it looked vacuum-sealed. If this was a chill night with the girls, then I was the Pope. Second, she never posted stories. Zero. Nada. Just radio silence. And we live in America, 2025. If there's no Instagram story, did the night even happen? Meanwhile, her friends apparently live in a basement with no Wi-Fi. Yeah, okay. Third, the hangovers. She'd come back at 4 a.m., looking like a raccoon that got hit by a Taco Bell truck, mumbling about karaoke and board games. Nobody gets glitter in their armpits from Monopoly. I started spiraling. My brain became a Reddit conspiracy thread. What if it's not girls' night? What if she's at some insane underground rave with guys who wear Crocs and have tribal tattoos of Shrek? What if she's not singing karaoke? What if she's singing to someone else? The paranoia consumed me. Every time she grabbed her party clutch, my stomach dropped. And then came the breaking point. One night, I noticed an invitation sticking out of her purse. It wasn't just an invite to friends' night. It was a glossy, neon-colored flyer that said, "Fire Underground Jungle Party, BYO Banana Fire." That was it. I knew I had to see for myself. So, the next Friday, while Laura strutted out of the apartment like she was on a catwalk, I slipped into my hoodie, grabbed a suspiciously flat energy drink, and decided to follow her. That was the night everything fell apart and everything got way too stupid, way too fast. I followed Laura through the neon-lit streets, trying to act casual, like some low-budget James Bond who got fired and now shops at Walmart. Every time she turned her head, I ducked behind trash cans, fake texting like, "Yeah bro, totally investing in crypto RN." My heart was pounding so loud, I swear people 3 blocks away could hear it. She finally stopped in front of an old warehouse, the kind of place you'd expect to see in a horror movie or a TikTok about urban exploring gone wrong. A giant inflatable gorilla with glow sticks on its wrist stood by the entrance, and the base was shaking the entire block. I froze. This was no game night. This was a full-blown rave from hell. People in banana costumes were dancing on top of a car. Some dude in a Pikachu onesie was being carried around like royalty while throwing glow-in-the-dark rubber chickens into the crowd. Another guy was shirtless except for cowboy boots and holding a sign that said, "Free hugs, no refunds." And then I saw her. Laura. My girlfriend. In the middle of it all, twirling under a disco ball shaped like Shrek's head, holding hands with some random dude who looked like he'd been grown in a frat laboratory. Backwards cap, tank top that said Chug Life, and abs so shiny they probably had their own TikTok account. They weren't just dancing. They were synchronized. Like, perfectly rehearsed TikTok choreography synchronized. He'd dab, she'd dab. He'd hit a Fortnite default dance, she'd hit it right back. They were locked in, 2 souls communicating in the sacred language of cringe. I felt my stomach drop to the floor. My girlfriend wasn't at a girls' night. She was out here living in some chaotic, glowstick-fueled fever dream with another guy. And I was standing outside like a rejected extra from Euphoria. I wanted to scream, to storm in there, to demand answers, but instead I just stood frozen, watching as the crowd cheered for them, chanting like they were prom king and queen of the rave. My whole world felt like it was glitching. And then the worst part happened, they kissed. Right there, under the Shrek disco ball. While some guy with a megaphone yelled, "Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our party power couple." I think my soul left my body. My knees were jelly, my brain screaming on loop, "Bro, she kissed him under Shrek's head." But something inside me snapped. I couldn't just stand outside like an unpaid NPC. So, I pushed through the warehouse doors. The second I stepped inside, the smell hit me, a cocktail of sweat, vape clouds, and cheap jungle-themed body spray. My ears were assaulted by bass so heavy it rattled my teeth. Strobe lights flashed like the universe was glitching. I stumbled past a guy dressed as Tarzan holding 3 corn dogs, past a girl balancing a blender on her head while pouring margaritas into random mouths, and finally, there they were. Laura and Frat Lab experiment guy. Still grinding like they were auditioning for some unholy TikTok couple dance challenge. My rage boiled over. I marched up like a Walmart John Wick. But instead of guns, I had crippling insecurity and a half-empty monster can. I tapped Laura's shoulder. She turned around, eyes wide, caught in 4K. For a second, the music seemed to stop. Everyone stared, phones out, waiting for drama like it was the season finale of reality TV. I shouted, or at least I tried to. But the bass was so loud, my voice came out like a squeaky rubber duck. Still, people got the idea. Because within seconds, the frat guy puffed his chest and did that "come at me, bro" arm wave. It should have been a fight. Two men battling for love. But instead, I tripped over a glow stick hula hoop and faceplanted into a pile of inflatable bananas. The crowd went feral. Phones recording. People chanting, "World Star! World Star!" Laura tried to grab my arm, but I shook her off. My heart wasn't just broken. It was shredded, thrown into a blender, and served as a party cocktail. I shouted something about loyalty, betrayal, and how no amount of synchronized Fortnite dances could replace honesty. Half the crowd booed. The other half clapped like it was a TED Talk. The frat guy tried to flex, literally, by oiling up his abs with someone's ranch dressing bottle. The crowd cheered, but it only made me angrier. That's when I grabbed the megaphone from the party host and screamed into it. "She's cheating. This isn't a party. This is betrayal with tacos and glow sticks." Gasps. Phones everywhere. Hashtags were being born in real time. Laura's face turned pale. She muttered something I couldn't hear. My whole world collapsed right there, under the judgmental gaze of inflatable Shrek. But this wasn't the end. Oh no. The real insanity started after. The second those words left my mouth through the megaphone, "This is betrayal with tacos and glow sticks." The whole warehouse party transformed into a gladiator arena of chaos. People screamed, cheered, booed, live-streamed. The bass dropped harder, almost like the DJ himself sensed this was the plot twist of the century. Laura just stood there, frozen like a deer caught in ring light. Frat guy dance machine flexed again, this time smashing 2 cans of White Claw against his forehead like he was auditioning for a WWE highlight reel. The crowd went nuts. Someone even threw a rotisserie chicken into the air like a victory flag. Meanwhile, I was shaking not from fear, but from rage, heartbreak, and maybe the 3 energy drinks I had chugged before following her. My whole body felt like a badly coded video game character glitching out. And then, the absurdity hit me. I looked around, inflatable bananas, Pikachu passed out in the corner, some dude crowd surfing on a mattress, and me standing in the middle of it all, screaming about betrayal into a megaphone under a disco ball shaped like Shrek. I cracked. Full clown meltdown. I ripped off my hoodie dramatically, but underneath was just a sweaty t-shirt with a giant ketchup stain shaped like Florida. The crowd gasped. Someone yelled, "He's the main character." Phones zoomed in. TikTok captions practically wrote themselves. I fell to my knees in slow motion, clutching the megaphone, narrating my pain like I was in a Shakespeare tragedy. She lied about game night. She lied about friends. And now I am the fool, drowning in bananas and broken trust. The crowd erupted. People weren't even mad anymore, they were entertained. This wasn't betrayal, this was performance art. Laura tried to speak, to explain, but she was drowned out by chance of speech. 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 So I gave them one. A monologue of epic proportions about heartbreak, deception, and why synchronized TikTok dances are not a valid excuse for cheating. I even threw in a dramatic cartwheel at the end. Failed it. Landed flat on my back. The crowd went wild. Phones everywhere. By the time security kicked us out, the damage was done. The internet had already claimed the story. Within hours, my meltdown, my betrayal speech under Shrek's disco ball, went viral. Memes popped up everywhere. My ketchup-stained t-shirt became a sticker pack. The "This is betrayal with tacos" line became a sound on TikTok with millions of plays. Even celebrities started duetting my meltdown, reenacting the speech while holding rubber chickens. And me? Well, I lost Laura. But I gained something bigger, content. A legend. The internet's sympathy and mockery. Because in the end, betrayal hurts. But betrayal that turns into a viral meme? That's eternal. That's the end of this incredible story. Subscribe to the channel to see more interesting stories like this. Goodbye.